Yo, 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 what it do? It's your boy, Yo the Poet.
Flat out, what's up everybody? It's your girl, Princess Jasmine.
And I'm me. Who are you? Thank you for joining us this Saturday. We're finally back to somewhat normal.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting somewhat steady in our new humble abode. But it's just good to be off that road. Yeah. Awesome. But today's topic will be
Deadbeat Parents.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Who doesn't have that deadbeat baby daddy or deadbeat baby mama?
Somewhere in the family.
Yes,
there
because
is always one.
we know they exist. We know this. My question is why? Why do they exist? And I don't mean like as a human, why do you exist?
No.
But why is it hard to help take care of your children? You know they're there. You know they exist.
Especially if you're the mom and that had them, and then you just totally dismissed them.
Well, I mean, that's one aspect of looking at it, but also the dad, you knew you played a part in, that creation. So how you just, spit and run.
Yeah.
That's what we do? That's how we do that? Just spit and run.
Well, the only thing that I can honestly say in certain circumstances is that, like, take for example when, let's say, one of the parents is working and making a pretty decent income, and then the other parent is not working and not making anything, but yet the parents live in separate households. That would be a time where I would have to say that the parent that's not making anything, would need to be resourceful. At the least, spend time with your children. At the least.
Well, again, that's somewhat helping. I mean, but when you just, act like the child doesn't exist, or, do half-ass here and there, or somebody had to hunt you down for $1, it's a problem.
Yeah.
Something seriously wrong with that. That should not be. Where's the maturity at? What happens?
That's part of the reason why there's so many deadbeat parents, because of the lack of maturity in themselves. They don't have enough maturity to stand
I'm sorry,
up
but
and
if
take
you
care
were
of your
mature
child.
enough to lay there and make the baby,
Exactly.
you damn sure better be mature
But see,
enough to take care of the baby.
nowadays, that's where things get really messed up. It don't take maturity to have sex. That's
Well,
the
it
sad
never
part.
did, but I'm saying
Exactly.
you know the consequences if
Right.
you don't use protection.
Right.
What's going to happen?
Exactly.
That's where the maturity kicks in.
But see, that's the thing. Mature people know the consequences just as well as immature people know the consequences. The difference is mature people know they're going to have to face the consequences, and they are willing to do so. An immature person doesn't care about the consequences, and they feel that they're
they care once they start hitting their pockets.
Right.
Oh, they care then.
But they
believe
always
that.
feel like in their mind, their immature little minds, that there's always some way that they can somehow get away from it. No.
Yeah, well, that's where karma comes in and kicks
Exactly.
that ass. So yeah, either way, you still not getting away with it.
Yeah. Take for example some of the guys who don't want to take care of their children, but they get mad at the women for putting them on child support.
Right.
So they go and beat her up. Like, what type of stuff is that? She wasn't wrong for putting you on child support, especially if it was a situation where she has given you multiple chances to spend time with your children or your child, whichever one it may be.
My thing is, don't get mad at the female. Get mad at your own ass.
Right.
Go look your dumb ass in that mirror and look at the dumb ass staring back and say, damn, why am I such a dumbass? When I could have just voluntarily, did this, did that, gave what she asked to give,
Right.
been done with it.
True.
And vice versa, same with the female. Your dumb ass, you deadbeat mom, you same way. Look your dumb ass in that mirror, look at the dumb ass looking back, and say, why am I such a dumb ass when all I had to do was
Take care of my child.
Yes, that's
That was
it. That's it.
But I guess that they figure that once the child comes out, it's like an animal. I do something sporadically, or I do something for a short period of time, and then the children gonna take care of themselves. I can just go. I can go now. You know.
Again, that there's that lack of maturity just rearing its head, huh?
It's a huge lack of maturity when it comes to being responsible parents. I mean, true indeed, we've talked about this before when we talked about parenting doesn't come with a guide. But at the same time, you know that in the forefront of your mind, damn the back, the forefront of your mind, you know that as a parent, we're supposed to take care of our children, guide them and teach them the ways of life in order for them to be able to be survivors of the life that they're going to lead on their own.
Yeah. It almost seems like they think if they don't help provide for the child, that's somehow hurting the child. When in the long run, you're hurting yourself.
True that.
Because when that child gets old enough, they come looking for you, and you have to be looking that same child in the face to explain why you couldn't, help.
Right.
When I was growing up, what was so important, or what took precedence over me, that you couldn't be bothered.
But see, the one of the biggest misconceptions is that some of the people, get together, and one of the person is on the pretending end, like I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do to be responsible and help you, just in case if we do have a child. But then the other person is actually looking forward to that actually happening. Mm-hmm. So when you're in a bind like that, and you don't even know that it's a bind until once the child is being conceived, because you may not even have the child yet before the person gets to acting the fool, the guy gets to acting the fool. You know what I'm saying? You may not even have it yet, and then vice versa. Some of the females get to the point to whereas they feel like, and I know this from personal experience, some people get to the point to whereas they feel like, oh well, he got it, he good, he can take care of it, I can go ahead on and live my life without any children, and then lie and say you don't have any children when you know that you brought children into this world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is true. And also, what I tend to notice, what helps that out too, the absentee parent is they let the new girlfriend or boyfriend come into the picture and say all this bullshit in the ear, and then for some reason their words hold so much weight and influence, that is just beyond ridiculous. Yeah. And the next thing you know, you hearing all this, well, that's not my baby, and I'm probably not even the father. Right. Can't say you ain't the mama because that's denying that one. But at the end of the day, say they took him away from me. The mama, they took him away.
Oh,
they didn't want me to be in their life.
I grew up with a young lady who said that she literally, all because she wanted this guy, she said that her baby was her cousin or niece or something like that, was a relative. And I'm like, what?
Oh yeah, know that too. Yeah, right. Say that's my little brother or sister, or cousin. Yeah, the lengths that people will go through to conceal.
Okay, that's a new one. Right there.
Oh, that ain't new. That's but
and then what about
that pathetic to do something like
people that are influenced by other people? It doesn't even have to be a companion, and you end up leaving your children off on somebody else. Like that quote unquote what you call a friend, just a new person you just met, and they don't really like to hang out with people who got children. So, but you feel like you want to be a part of the in crowd, so you like dismiss your children just to go hang out. Like, where in the world is the moral statutes for being a responsible person?
Apparently, there isn't a moral compass in anywhere in sight, because if there was, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Exactly.
Sad but true. And like I said, you can't just say the men do it because females do it too. Yeah. They do it too.
Yeah. I know from experience.
It's sad. It's really like, I don't get it. I don't get how you deny.
the bigger question though, like of all of it, as far as the deadbeat parents are concerned, the bigger question is there a way to fix that? That's the bigger question. You know, is there a way to fix it without having to have the government involved?
Nope. Not unless that person voluntarily gets a triple shot of common decency and, you know, a moral compass and a conscience. Oh, you know, get a triple shot of that? Yeah, then sure, that can happen without the government being part of the whole thing.
But then does it actually fix it when the government is involved? That's another question.
Why wouldn't it? The child getting taken care of.
Well, we can say
Finally.
that, but we can say that,
By
but
force.
we can say that, but again, from experience, what about the fact that I've read that the law states that if the parent is more than $5,000 behind in debt, they become incarcerated. The state has the right to incarcerate them, right?
I don't know how well that remains.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So, but what about the fact that you got so many of them out here with far more than that, like far more than that?
Oh yeah. Definitely.
And they're still out here on the streets, and the government is not even pushing the issue about any of that child support in the first place. But yet, and still, you still have children that need to be taken care of.
I think if they started locking them up like they should, you would have a lot less to worry about as far as that's concerned.
I don't know because I think some of them will probably think about it if the person already has a criminal history. They would probably rather spend time in jail or prison or whatever rather than take care of their children because they didn't want to take care of them in the first place.
Okay, so let them roam free and still not do what they're supposed to do?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that
locking them up like they're supposed to is going to solve the problem.
People out here.
I feel
this
this is a system that should be set up in place. Y'all hear me, government? Y'all listening? Listen to every damn thing else. Listen to this. I think this is what should happen. I think that yes, they should be incarcerated, but made to work while they're incarcerated, and everything that they earn goes to the child until they get caught up on their child support.
Okay, that does happen, but you know what's the biggest
Oh,
problem
that
to
don't
that?
happen. You know how much they pay them prisoners. I'm talking about actually
Right.
paying them a wage that is going to help them get out of that child support debt. But you got to stay in jail until it's done. Till you don't pay it up.
But how much they would get out of jail a lot faster if that were to happen. But if they kept it on the way that the government does it, they would stay in jail a lot longer.
But I'm not saying they should stay in jail the rest of their life. I ain't trying to say that. I'm trying to say if this way they is giving them, this is what happens when you don't do what you're supposed to do. You're in prison. Number two, you're in prison and you're still gonna pay the damn child support.
Like it or not.
That's it, right? Like it or not. And if you choose to not want to work, as long as you gotta stay up in there. And if that means you want to spend life in jail, then by all means go ahead.
Well, but I mean, I get what you're saying, and the punishment would actually fit the crime if it were done in that facet. It's just that once they get out, then what? You know,
What do you mean
and
once they get out, then
no,
what?
I'm saying once they caught up on their debt and they get out, they get allowed to be released from jail or prison, whatever one they choose to put them in.
What do you suggest? Probation?
No. I'm not saying suggesting probation. I think that what you're saying is a good idea. It's just that there's always another thing that's attached to that dictates whether they're gonna learn from it or not. So they may get out and be like, man, I'm paying up, so now I got time before the $5,000 build up again.
No, that's not how that go. No, once they don't get caught up, you fall back behind. First of all, it's gonna be set up so whatever job they get, automatic garnish comes out of that.
Right.
For child support.
Right, that's already set up. Yeah.
Automatic.
Yeah, that's
so
already set up.
you're not gonna get a chance to get back like that. Because it's getting taken out. Period.
But that
And
is.
what you gonna do? Become homeless just so you won't have to pay child support?
You'd be surprised.
Well, you know what? If somebody is that pathetic and ignorant, that child don't need them in their life in the first place.
Yeah, I know.
That's the
one
way I
person
see
like
that. That's how I see that. That child don't need them to be in their life at all. If you that
I know one that's like
selfish
that.
and pathetic,
Yeah.
no, you don't need to be
Yeah.
around nobody's child. Not
I
even
know one
yours.
that's like that right now. Right now to this day, he would rather be homeless than to take care of his children.
See, I just don't understand the mentality of it. I wish I could talk to him for him to explain that to me. Like, what makes you think? Why would you rather do that? What in your mind makes that sound right? What makes that sound right?
Oh goodness.
I wonder that myself. I've been wondering that all my life.
No, I would legit ask, what about that to you sounds remotely okay?
But you know what's the only excuse that was ever given was I don't think I should have to pay anything. What?
That's the dumbest thing ever.
So in
You
other
should have
words,
to pay
it's okay not to take care of your children. Your children are supposed to just wing it for the rest of their life,
That's pretty much what he's saying.
and you stay out of their lives in the process.
Yeah. That's
But
right.
but everybody that has did some form of homework or that has had the proper upbringing knows that psychologically, if both parents are partaking in the children's lives, they have a better chance of survival.
Nah, I don't know what that statistic comes from. I don't necessarily
I can
agree
tell
with
you
that.
I can tell you
but-
where it comes from.
I'm just saying I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, because a single parent can be just as beneficial as two parents. So I don't necessarily agree with that logic.
It's not discrediting the other parent. What it is talking about getting the perspectives from both sides, male and female side. That's what it's based on. It's not discrediting the single parent at all.
Well, no, I'm not thinking of it as discrediting. I'm just thinking that I hear that a lot. That there's two parent home is better than one and blah blah blah. Like, where you get that?
Of course, when they doing it on the psychology, when they doing it on for the statistics for psychology, they're not even talking about both of the parents being in the same household. They're just talking about both the parents just being active in the children's lives. So as long as we're both of us are given the
Co-parenting,
proper
basically.
guidance, yeah. So as long as we're
That would be
giving
cool.
the proper guidance to our children, then they have two perspectives to look at it from, a male's perspective and a female's perspective, to look at life from and make decisions based on that. That's what the reports or the statistics for psychology when they talk about both parents. And yes, we know that one parent can actually give the children enough guidance and support and things of that nature for them to get out there and be successful out there in the world. We do know these things, but the other party, like whether it's male or female, a lot of times they get that information from someone else. That opposite sex, they get that information from someone else. Because I mean, how many times in life have we ever? I wonder what it would be like from. Like for me, I would say I wonder what it'd be like from a female's perspective, and then a female might say I wonder what it'd be like from a male's perspective. You know what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes there are things that you wonder about in that aspect, and if the parents are there to give that guidance, give those answers and things of that nature, then it helps. In other words, what they're saying, it helps. Mm-hmm. And I'm a firm believer of getting both sides, male and female perspectives on different aspects of life. I'm a firm believer in that. I think that's a good
I
idea.
definitely have no problem with that. I think maybe if people did engage in that a little bit more, you have a lot less animosity and drama. You know what?
And that was the things that they're talking about on the psychology reports where they're talking about parenting. That we have a lot less frustrations anger. Like some of the children get angry when they cannot, under any circumstances, have any type of connection, dialogue, or anything with that other parent. Some of the children get angry about that. But it depends on the circumstances. It does. It depends on the circumstances. Because if you got that abusive parent out there, then hell no. I'm not going to want to talk to that abusive parent. I don't care what that abusive parent's point of view is. Mm-hmm. Now it's time for me to find out somebody that's actually rational, someone that actually can give me some input about life that's valid, so that I can, progress in my life. Then that's when it doesn't make a difference what the other parent says. But it goes back to what I said at first, where they're going to find it from somewhere else. And not everybody has that supportive family.
Hey, but honestly though, sitting here talking about this topic has made me come to the conclusion. I kind of want to ask that person for their why.
Who, your VM?
Yeah.
Ah.
I want to ask that creature why. Kind of curious,
Hey.
That's a normal thing to be curious about. That.
Really
if it was me, I would want to know why.
I'm curious.
And it can be a closing.
Hell, it was me.
It can be a closing in your life, like you know what I'm saying. That you get some sense of closure,
or closing in her eye, depending on the answer. You never know, Because I mean, like once you get hit in the eye hard enough and that thing starts to swirl up, it closes. It closes.
But you know something too, that brings up an interesting point to me. Like, what if it got to that point to where your child decided that because you refuse to be a part of their lives, now they want to be violent towards you? Then it's not to say that it solves anything or that it's even going to do anything beneficial, but what if it gets to that point? Then what does the other parent do? That's just not cool.
And not only that, what made you not get out?
You said get out?
Get out.
Oh, get out.
What made you
Why
not?
did you stay? From a man that stayed.
Firstly, I answered that question already.
What'd you say?
When you all decided you wanted to go with me, I had to stick around because I had to get enough money to get you out of the situation.
Okay, well, mine is the situation. I mean, like from the jump. Why'd you stay?
There's nothing revealed for me to do anything. Everything was for me. I was going to school, taking care of business, owning my own business. I was doing those types of things. I didn't have that time to actually pay attention to everything that was going on behind my back. I was supposed to be able to be entrusting in someone, but I didn't have time to worry about that.
So here's my other question for you, sir. Okay, so.
You want to put personal business out.
Oh, we're not putting personal business out. I'm just saying. Okay, look, we're not getting too personal, okay? Okay, so the creature had 2 bags of luggage with her, okay? Why did you even get involved with that baggage?
The baggage was too young to even be an inkling of thought at the time.
So you weren't thinking about
Anyway.
How you not thinking about
the huge problem with having deadbeat problems, one of the hugest problems with having a deadbeat parent is the fact that a lot of these parents come up with these asinine excuses for not being there in the child's life. And those excuses, in my opinion, can never put them at a point where they're actually able to make up for the lost time with their children.
I got a question for you.
Yes.
How do you sit there all day with those on your face?
How do I do what?
How do you sit there all day with those on your face?
With glasses?
Yeah.
What glasses?
Yeah.
Let me see. I need to see.
It's bothering my nose just seeing it on your face. Cause that's why I hate wearing glasses. Cause I don't like it on my face.
It can irritate.
It bothers my nose
Something
all the time. Like the second.
So I asked this question. From a female's perspective, as a responsible parent, how much stress was it for you to have to be the main person to do a lot of things inside of the household?
How much stress?
Yeah.
You talking about as far as taking care of the children, trying to get dinner done, and
What's up,
keeping
Dre?
the house clean, and all that good stuff?
Yeah.
If you got some badass kids, it's a lot of stress.
Yeah.
When you're trying to keep them from getting into stuff, as well as trying to get dinner started, as well as trying to keep the house somewhat clean, maintain some form of normalcy.
Right.
It can be stressful. It can.
I had to do that.
But each individual is different because it depends on that threshold that they have as far as patience and tolerance and you know, all that good stuff.
I had to do that on very rare occasions.
Dre said excuses only satisfy the ones who give them.
Facts.
I totally agree with you on
Well,
that,
yes.
bro. For real.
Facts, no credit.
I totally agree with you on that.
Yes, indeed.
That is so serious. And I would say, you know, a lot of my friends and even some of my family members used to call me Mr. Mom because a lot of times when I came home from work, I was cooking, cleaning, and making sure everything was straight, making sure the children's homework was done, and just it was just a lot. It was a lot. It was really stressful, in my opinion, because outside of that, I was also trying to follow my career, you know, as a poet and make something out of it, make something big out of it. And true indeed, it's growing, but it hasn't gotten to where I want it to be. But irregardless of anything else, I still wanted to be able to make time to do things with and for my children, irregardless of what situation I was in. And yes, it would have been helpful to have someone there to watch over them and to make sure that they're not endangering themselves or getting in any type of harm's way. It would have been very helpful. But that didn't happen. It didn't. And regardless of how I felt about it, at the end of the day, I still knew that I had an obligation to my children and a responsibility to be the best parent that I could possibly be.
I got a question.
No.
Okay, now I know both of y'all probably had this moment, so don't even try to tell me y'all didn't, because I know for a fact you haven't dealt with me. I know you had this moment. Y'all ever had that moment like Don't Be a Menace, Sean Wayne, when he was in there, he was mad, he was just swinging and knocked out all the kids. Y'all ever had that moment? Y'all just ready to do down the one?
Nah, I've never gotten that overwhelmed.
No.
You
you want to put your hands on your children? No, I've never gotten that. Where you want to beat your children like they're adults? No, I've never gotten that overwhelmed.
Remember when you used to try and throw me in the trash?
Well, I don't know when they teenage status and they get to smelling their piss, as my great aunt used to say. Yeah, then I want to beat them like they're an adult. Sure do. Yeah. They get to talking all that. Oh yeah. It's time to step outside.
That's lay out in the living room.
No, outside. It's time to go outside. Time to go outside. Not in the house. It's outside.
He said
Hey, Dre, I feel you, bro.
Yup, look, honesty.
Well, I'm talking about as small children. No, I don't feel like I've had to get to that point. But once they became teenagers, the whole world changed. Not only mine, but theirs too.
Become teenagers, you gotta give them body parts after a while, because they get to talking crap, like they just king ding-a-ling. So yeah, we get something to go outside. That's I know.
I've been doing that ever since I was little because that's how I developed my intelligence. Going back and forth with him all the time.
Goodness gracious.
It's very good for the intelligence, I'm telling you, because men.
It's one thing to debate.
Yeah.
Of course. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about when they get all that attitude.
Yeah, I used to do that too.
Like you owe them. Like that. Whoa.
One of my nicknames, you already know. My cousin called me.
I don't do that.
I feel like too that as a parent who's been active in the children's lives, that other parent who was inactive, you get to miss all of the ups and downs, the emotions, the actual
growth
time.
period.
Yeah, the time that it takes to actually get to know your children and get to see things that they've done that you used to do a long time ago. You get to miss all of that. And as a real parent, who the hell wants to miss that?
Honestly, let me tell you something. The last thing that creature knew about me was that when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. So anytime when I would tell one of her little bald-headed kids, I'm about to pop you in your jaw, she would already tell me, don't even mess with her, because when she said she's going to do something, she's going to do it. Good thing she, I hope she still remembers that, because if I ever come across her again, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
Hey, I don't know if any other parents have ever felt this way, but let's say that you're a single parent, right? And you see your child do something that deadbeat parent that decided to get out of their lives used to do. Now for me, I sit back and I can't even lie to you. I don't want my children to see it, but I kind of cringe like, oh, you so remind me of, oh, I wish you wouldn't do that. And then I thought, after you gain control of yourself, you like, can you not do that again, please? Just don't do that.
Do that often?
You have your moments.
But is it often?
You have your moments.
Is it often?
It's often enough.
Wow. Okay.
I'm about to go in the bathroom and go look in the mirror and have a little personality change because that's old. Wow. That's nasty.
But I mean, it's better to be honest and let you know up front what's really going on versus to keep everything hidden from you. Because once you become a certain age, it's time for you to start knowing what's going on in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
That's all the point of not being a deadbeat parent.
This is true.
And that was one of the things that I've always refused to be, seeing as though, yeah, that right there.
Yeah, that right there.
I'm gonna leave that where that's at.
So how happy were you to have a girl?
Well, considering mine was born on my birthday.
She said, happy birthday.
Yes.
I'm about to go get this.
Okay. Since my birthday gift was actually my birthday gift.
She was like, oh my God, everybody tell her happy birthday. I want to tell her happy birthday too. Boop, happy birthday.
Yeah, my wonderful sister to thank for that lovely gift. Considering hers is the day before mine.
Monsters, well.
Okay.
Since hers is the day before mine, there it was. Birthday gift.
But see, in my case, I've always wanted to have a daughter, and I just felt like that I could be that man that teaches his daughter more than what the average man teaches their daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I've always strived to do my entire life, is to be able to have something to teach my daughter once I did finally get a daughter.
Right.
So that she would be able to know more than the average girl. Because I don't want her to fall into that category where some girls fall so deep in love with somebody that they fail to live their lives.
Right.
Because they're trying to live for somebody else or live for that guy. Like, all guys are not what they are cracked up to be.
They're
I'm
not
sorry,
right.
but it's true.
Gina right there.
The truth is the truth.
It's just not right.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I'm not saying
Wolves in sheep's
I'm not saying that all guys are bad, because we got it's an even cut nowadays. I'm sorry.
Pretty
You
much.
got bad guys and bad females. It's an even cut nowadays.
Yeah, no one can say
Right,
that the
pretty
other
girl.
is as bad.
Where you get that smile?
Not at all.
Right, pretty girl.
That smile.
And here's our special guest, my granddaughter, Princess. She just, yeah, wants all the attention. All the attention.
All the time. Ain't that right, Mama?
Don't bite me this time, okay? Anaya, I know you're paying attention to him, but don't bite me this time, okay? You bite me every time
And see,
you grab my face.
These are the moments that I felt like were some of the most important moments in your child's life. If you miss this time right here, you done missed a lot.
Exactly.
You
I know
done
you
missed
heard
a
that,
whole
but she
lot.
She farted. How you not hearing it? This little lady.
You done missed a whole lot. Y'all see this pretty little girl right
What
here?
you smell like? Let me see. What you smell like? What you smell like?
seat for you right up here.
Oh no, me here. Go G mine. Go ahead, let you sit up there.
The girl look like a baby dog.
There she does. The pacifier. The pacifier, mommy.
Ain't that right, Mama? Yeah, there you go. Tell him. Tell her, say, I'm the baby.
What the baby smell like? Go
See,
ahead, girl.
we already know who in charge right now.
Yes. This one right here.
You gotta turn it
Everybody.
Everybody know who's
Everybody.
in charge. Ain't that right? Ain't that right? Say, I am the baby. I am in charge. Ain't that right, Mom? She just
Oh,
be
you
looking
raised
at
your fist? That's right. Power to the people. Right. Right. Started off young. Power to the people.
You almost got it. You
Fight
almost
back.
got it. You gotta turn it a little bit more.
Fight power.
Just turn it a little
Hey,
bit.
night,
You almost got it.
Hey, Naya.
Look at this smile. Oh, look at these cheeks.
But
Like, see this. How could you not want to be a part of this little one?
exactly.
These little faces. How could you not?
And I've
When you
always
see all the
found
good stuff, huh?
I've always found
I think
babies
it's stuff.
to be some of the most interested people in the first place.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Because the levels of curiosity that they hold, and you see the curiosity, don't you? You see it all, right?
Yeah.
You see all the curiosity, right? You see the curiosity? Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, pretty girl. Hey, pretty girl. See, somebody's trying to steal the show from us, y'all.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Officially
It's
She's trying to get it all. She's trying to get it all.
Showstopper.
The baby show. So it's my show. So it's my show. It's your show.
Today we have one special guest that's just gonna steal the whole show.
Yes, yes,
It's hers now.
yes. It's her world. We're just in it.
Yeah. We listen to what she
To
got.
do her bidding. Yeah.
She's the one who gives us the topics. She gives us the topics. She tells us when to shoot, everything. She
Yes.
does.
Really.
And she is a mess too. Oh my goodness, she is a
Yes.
mess. The girl got pipes. She
Oh
gonna
boy, this should
be
be
a
ever.
singer.
Man.
Next Mariah Carey, right here. The picture
Hey.
she be getting.
This is the one that I was in that really long car ride with.
Woo-hoo.
With the
Oh
nonstop.
yeah, during our
Screaming
respective
from hell.
trip. Oh my goodness.
This is
Oh
the
my
baby.
goodness. Yes indeed. Ain't that right, Mama? Ain't that right, pretty
This is the
girl?
little baby that gave me baby PTSD.
Ain't that right, pretty
You get
girl?
baby PTSD? You did
Put your
that?
hands up. Put your hands up.
Are you trying to get down so we can walk?
You wanna walk? She just
You're
keep
not
that
walking
baby.
yet.
She is a mess.
Not yet.
She is truly
You
a
got
mess.
cramps.
In
You
the
got
right,
cramps.
in the right moment. But
Look
in the right
at
moment. That truly a mess. My baby is a mess. Together.
My baby is
You
a mess.
trying to walk? You trying to do that walking?
So
You trying to do that walking?
Ain't the right moment. So,
But yes,
look,
deadbeat parents, you guys really need to get your shit together because if you didn't want to become a parent, you should have took the steps to make sure that that did not happen. But seeing as though you didn't, do your job.
yeah, because I honestly feel like sex is not that. It's not that type of important where you bring a child into this world and then walk away. Like that meant that the only thing that you really wanted was the sex. So you should have protected yourself.
Right.
And
That's
only
what
had
I'm
the sex
saying.
not
And
the
been
child.
done with it. Right. You don't get to pick and choose what you want to accept in the aftermath of everything. You don't get to pick and choose
Wait
that.
a minute.
You
I thought
didn't do
we
anything to
could.
prevent
Like me.
any consequence from the aftermath. So, you know, hey, suck it up. Put your big boy drawers on and put your big girl panties on and do your job.
And then again, too, if you know that you're the type of person that doesn't even have the patience for children, why put yourself in a position to where you could possibly make something?
Exactly. It's just, I mean, it's so many forms of birth control out here.
Yes.
It is beyond reason. There should be no unwanted pregnancies in existence.
Exactly.
Ever.
Exactly. Like right about now with all that's going on, you have tons of supplements and things
Shots
of that nature.
and contraceptives.
Yeah.
As far
That
as,
could-
you know, condoms and
yeah.
women's condoms and foam and you name it, they got it. So, hey.
So there's all types
It's
of ways
been
to
many
protect
ways to
yourself
prevent
from
and protect, and you choose not to do that.
bringing
So
another child
the
into
child
the
didn't choose to be born. You chose to produce the child. So take care of your creation that you chose when you chose not to use any form of contraceptive.
Exactly.
That's what you chose.
Exactly.
You chose for the child to come.
Especially when you already know this is not what you want.
Right. Right. And you're going to take it out on the innocent who didn't ask to be in the first damn place. Or I'm not going to say who didn't ask to be here, but who didn't ask to be born to you. I put it like that.
And then when you think about it like this. When you bring a child into this world, you are extending yourself, your lifeline, your lineage, your bloodline. You are extending that when you bring another child in this world. Now, I have to say my condolences to those moms that actually passed away while giving birth, because that's a whole nother circumstance.
Exactly.
That's nothing like being a deadbeat parent. That's not even close to being a deadbeat parent. But for those of you who are able to conceive these children and keep these children and able to be in your child's lives, you should actually be there. Being a deadbeat parent is not a gift. That's a curse. That's a crime. That's something you taking totally away from your child. And then too,
I don't even think they see it as a,
What if-
as a form
what
of
if your
gift.
parents-
I don't think they
Right.
give it any consideration at all.
so what if their parents would have done that to them? Then how do you think, if you put yourself in the shoes, how do you think that would make them
Ain't
feel?
nobody trying to wear those shoes. Come on. Ain't nobody.
Nobody truly
Nobody's
wants
putting
to wear
themselves.
those
Nobody
shoes.
putting themselves in the shoes.
Right. Nobody truly wants to wear those shoes. I get that. But in life, there's a lot of shoes that we don't want to wear, but yet we keep stepping in them.
Yeah, we do.
You keep stepping in them, then you're trying to walk. You're trying to walk down a path that you have no knowledge of.
Like how I keep stepping in them.
It's just like I said. It's no excuse for this at all. You can't even. There is no excuse
It is.
because everything is preventable, and if you choose not to use preventions, be prepared to deal with the consequences of it.
That's
No,
exactly.
they can
And
Your lack of self-control.
when you are one of those people that bring children into to this world, and you decide, man, I don't want to take care of no child. You should also decide, well, I did bring this child into this world, so whether I want to take care of him or not, I
He or
need
she
to
is
be-
here now, so
Right.
I gotta make sure he or she eats.
Right.
And
I
has a
need
place
to
to
at
sleep.
least make sure that this child
Clothes.
has the basic needs.
Exactly.
And even if I,
But they don't think about that. They don't
See,
think
that's
about
what I'm
that. They
saying.
don't consider that.
That's
They don't
exactly
think
what I'm
about it.
saying. A lot of people don't think about that when you're bringing these children into this world. You don't think about putting yourselves in their shoes. Whereas if I walk away, then how am I making this child feel when they get older? How am I making the child feel now? We don't know how these children feel
Not at all.
when you're not there. You don't know how these children feel as a baby because the baby can't fully explain everything that's going on with their emotions. So we don't know.
That's right.
But the fact that you don't know, why would you even want to find out? At least the bad part. Why would you want to find out the bad part? You not being there. Why would you want to find that out? I wouldn't want to find that out.
No, I think that's the cowardice. That's the cowardice.
It is.
Naturally, they're not gonna want to own up to what they did.
Mm-hmm.
What could you say?
Oh well, I was young. I wasn't ready for no kid, but you could have used something to prevent that, and you didn't.
You were ready for a child, but you were ready for sex.
Right. Again, there's no defense.
So at least, what would have been smart if you're gonna be selfish like that? Be selfish enough not to do anything that's gonna actually bring a child into this world. Be selfish enough to use all of these things that you got out here to
not
keep
to
you from
mention
bringing the
the
children in the world.
true. That's how it started with the diseases, you idiots.
I know,
like,
right?
Seriously.
I know, right?
Just an unwanted child that you have to be considering,
Mm-hmm.
but also the unwanted gift that keeps on giving.
I know, right?
Who wants that?
And then think about all the guys who conceive a child and you still having sex with this woman, and then you bring a disease home to her. Or think about the women that go out and cheat while they're pregnant,
Why are you trying
and
to
then get something while you're pregnant, but then you want to blame everybody else in the world for you messing up.
Yeah,
I'm not food.
because that's
Okay.
it's so much easier to do that
Point that
than
finger.
own your shit.
It is. It's so much easier to point that finger than anything. But
Very much
what
so.
does it solve? It doesn't solve anything. No, there's no form of resolution for pointing the blame on somebody else when you're the one at fault.
Oh my goodness.
There's no resolution to that, and it never will be.
Yeah.
So I think the sooner that people realize that there will never be a resolution to that, the better off they'll be. Isn't that right, Mom? Isn't that right?
She really wanted.
I know.
She was trying to eat me. She licked me. When did she start doing that?
No.
Usually she will bite. When did she start licking?
She is a nut. Look, she's gonna get you next. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Yeah. You need to get it.
Look,
Get him, girl. Get him.
look. Your own perspectives. See, Naya is on Perspectives Live.
Tell them what's your perspective.
Eat. I like to eat. That's her only perspective.
Tell them, Naya.
All she cares.
Tell them, Naya.
That's the
Naya.
life.
Tell them. What's your perspective?
Eat.
Look.
Duh.
Trying to eat your own shirt.
Shirts are not good food, Mama. It's not good food.
When did she start licking?
It's not that good food, Mama.
Little girl comes up with something new
I
every
just
day.
felt something like on my
Look at-
shoulder, and
look
I
at-
look over at her, and I'm like,
She's
what is
just
that?
having a field day right now.
Wake up, Mama.
I look, and she's just.
I be
at
so
my
happy when them
shoulder.
other teeth come through.
Yeah.
Oh my
she
goodness.
going through them other teeth.
Oh, then she's gonna be biting.
She really gonna be biting.
Yeah.
I'm really gonna feel it.
Yeah.
One time she got me good, and I felt her two little bottom teeth. Good thing she had none at the top.
Well, it's the top one's coming now, so.
Can you slow down the process?
No.
And you hear me like, oh.
Look, yeah, look. But
But
at the end of the day,
right. just if you're going to use practice unprotected sex, be prepared for what comes along with that.
Exactly.
And take responsibility. Own your shit.
I'd rather keep my legs closed and stay a virgin than to be bringing a child into this world.
Or
knowing
booyah,
that I'm not
abstinence,
ready
as
for
she
that.
just said.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
So, I
Honestly.
mean, come
Yeah.
on, people.
And especially for all of the people that's actually looking for true love in this world,
Oh my God, it's so difficult.
it is. It's kind of tough nowadays, especially nowadays. Especially when you got the type of music that actually co-signs for being a deadbeat, because everybody's worried about being iced out and getting all types of jewels and talking about their organs, their body parts and things of that nature, when in society we have a much bigger problem with there's no true love and there's too many people allowing no, I don't mean no as in like nowhere in the world.
No. But what I was doing, sex is overrated.
Yeah, it is.
Period. It really is overrated. Getting to know a person is actually a lot more intimate than sex.
It really is.
It's a lot more
It really
intimate.
is.
Getting to
Yeah.
actually know a person, talking to the actual, literally talking, meaning they're saying something and you're listening, and then you say something and they're listening, and you know, all that good stuff. Getting to know likes and dislikes and points of views, and you know, all that's way more intimate than sex. Sex is an act. That's it. It's an act. There's no, you know.
And to be honest,
Unless you have the core intimacy, which is, like I said, getting to know that person. That's the core of intimacy, not sex. People keep mistaking sex as the core intimacy, and it's not.
No.
It's really not.
Because for one, there's a lot of energies involved, and when I say energies, there's a lot of topics and subjects that go along with those different diverse energies that allow you to even be able to come to that intimate point in the first place. Because once you start on it, though, the best part about it is it's hard to find a deadbeat parent once you start on those energies and start to evolve it and understanding what those energies are. And then to the act of actually even trying to be a part of those energies, it even makes the whole world, makes a whole different type of sense to you. Because you're not looking at the world blindly, you're actually looking at the world with open eyes and being challenged internally to see things differently than the way a lot of other people see them.
Exactly.
Especially when you haven't been taught to see the world in a perspective that would allow you not to get yourself involved with a deadbeat person that would not be a good parent for your child, especially when you want something.
that's the biggest thing for me. I am not laying down with anybody if I feel like that person would leave if I got pregnant. If I feel like you're going to take your chance
Right,
and dip out.
but and the only way you wouldn't have a way of knowing that is doing what?
Exactly.
Getting to know them.
Exactly.
Getting to know their points of view on topics and things of that nature. And that's what causes all the drama, when you don't stop to get to know the person. And then you find out after you've done the deed.
Right.
That's where the whole... And don't get me wrong, we're all guilty of doing that. I myself included, we're all guilty of doing that.
Yeah.
But, like, let's break that cycle. Let's stop that. Let's cut that chain. Let's break that cycle.
That chain
because-
ended right here.
Let's cut
No.
that, because I mean, it's so much unnecessary going on already.
For real though.
Need
That's
to
why.
get rid of start Get rid of some of that unnecessary. It's time
That's
to
why
start
some of my
purging.
relationships ended, to be honest.
Start purge.
Because I wasn't going to lay down with the person.
Right.
I don't know you that well to be doing all that with you, first
It's
of all.
not that serious. It's
Second of
overrated.
all, I got 8 brothers and a dad in my life.
What?
You really
What
think I'm
is
that
it? What is
stupid?
it?
Thank
You think your game is gonna work on me? First of all, sir, how you think we got here?
Nah.
Don't play with me.
Thank you.
I can run game better than half the dudes running around here. Don't play with me. Like for real, I just choose not to because I prefer to get a person, you know, by being me, genuinely
Exactly.
being me.
That's right.
But sometimes I get bored and things happen. At least it's not sex though.
No.
I'm
Thank
not doing
goodness.
that.
So, on that note, thank you guys for
Look at that smile, y'all.
watching.
Look at that smile.
Be sure to tune in with us tomorrow, where there is always open topic. Again, feel free to put in a topic you want us to discuss. We're more than happy to be doing that, as well as have you on as a guest with us. So, until then, we will always be keeping it,
Keeping it cool.
Keeping it classy.
most of all, keeping it with the utmost respect. See you guys tomorrow. Enjoy your day. Peace.
Peace.